never got like proper day job to be able to pay for my psychiatrist or whatever. So I thought that I'm gonna try it with music, and all of a sudden I found music to be very cathartic. So I can, sort of like release myself from all the demons and put them into the songs, and that's really good for me personally. And I've never enjoyed like happy music. That's not my cup of tea, or the cup of tea for Finnish people in general. Because we like really melancholic music, and that's what sort of like, that's what makes us happy. That's weird, but that's what I've always said. Sad music makes us really happy, and happy music makes us really bored and annoyed.
It's crushing my heart. All I want is you. Take me into your arms, where love and death embrace. Take me into your arms, where
Hello, dear Earthlings. My name is Ville Hermanni. This is...
We wish you an erotic Christmas.
And an even more erotic New Year. Greetings, sweethearts. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo, and I'm the singer of a Finnish band called Him.
Greetings, sweethearts. It's Ville again from your beloved Him from Finland.
Hello there, live long and prosper. What's going on? As you hopefully know, my name is Ville Hermanni Valo.
Greetings, everybody. It's Ville Hermanni Valo from a band called Him. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello. You say sweetheart a lot.
Well,
I heard.
you know, it's a lovely little word. Hello, mama. I'm on telly.
Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo from a band called Him from Helsinki, Finland.
Live long and prosper, sweeties.
Hello there.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo from a band called Him from Helsinki, Finland. Hello, dear fan clubbers. Hope you remember my sweet face. I just cut my hair. It's pretty good. Beat me up, Ozzy. My name is Ville from a band called Him.
Moikkis kaikki pikkuset ja isot. Tässä on Ville Hermanni Valo orkesterista nimeltä Him.
Jouluyö, jouluflyer. Konnichiwa. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo from a Scandinavian rock band called Him. Hail Satan, everybody reading Roxanne here in lovely Portugal. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo from Him. Hola, hey there. Oh, that was actually the wrong language, but that's fine, because I did that on purpose. So, but anyway. Hello, mama. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo. I tickle my tonsils, aka sing, for a band called Him from Helsinki, Finland. Love. Greetings, everybody. Love you all.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo from a band called Him.
Yo, everybody. It's Ville from the band Him from Helsinki, Finland.
Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Ville Hermanni Valo.
Ville Hermanni Valo here from a Finnish love metal band called Him.
So, hello. This is Ville Hermanni Valo, the singer from a Finnish band called Him. And in a while, you're gonna see some live shots of our gig and all that kind of usual crap.
The image has always been very important because nowadays you can sell, whatever if you look good. In Finland, the newspapers and the music magazines, they've claimed that I'm kind of a sex symbol in rock for the 90s, but it doesn't affect my everyday life at all. So I don't have any problems with that, really. It's nice that because I don't care if people are buying the records because of my appearance or because of the music. That's all the same as long as the record sells, That's the point.
Last night my little dancer, he danced into the door. Last night my little angel, she bumping on the floor. She said, come on baby, got license for love. And if it expires, pray out from above. Because with the midnight with the rebel yell, you put me down, baby. With the rebel yell, she cried, no, more. She don't like slavery, she won't sit and beg. But what I know, she sees me too bad. What set you free? I want you to be, baby. Oh, I set you free. I need you near my knee. Because with the midnight, she cried, no. With the rebel yell, she cried, no. Ow! With the midnight, baby. With the rebel yell, she cried, no. Is on it. a little bar. Was out all night to collect paper. Just slugging the mess up his hair. I walk the woods for you, babe. 8,000 miles for you. 666 times for you. I sell myself for you, baby. For money to buy, just for you. With a rebel yell, strike on, wow, in the midnight hour, baby, with a rebel yell, strike on, yeah. Oh yeah, my angel, she wants more, oh yeah.
We're just 5 guys, and we had the feeling that we had to play in a band that really, kind of rocks and is a real band, and we work for the band and that kind of stuff. And we've bbeen playing together only for 2.5 years, so it's kind of a new thing still for us. But they're very old friends, and we'll be playing, with those guys. Before him, we've been playing in, jazz bands and funk bands and, whatever, all this stuff. And then we recorded the album and blah, blah, blah. Now we're here. Well, actually, our drum player, he is kind of hardcore freak, and he loves Slayer and that kind of stuff. Our bass player, he loves, kind of Ozzy Osbourne and 80s kind of heavy metal, Manowar and that kind of stuff. And our guitar player, he loves different kinds of stuff. And I'm the only one I'm a freak about goth rock and that kind of stuff. And, of course, it affects the whole sound of the band because we're all come from, so many different musical backgrounds, but still we are friends good enough to be able to be together, and we never have any fights and that kind of stuff. We're always it's very easy. That creates the whole sound, me singing in very melodic and very kind of old-fashioned way, and they're playing very, very hard and rude and that kind of stuff. It creates the whole sound. It's the only obsession I have, love, so it's very easy for me to write about that, and kind of the only thing I know something about. I don't want to be involved in politics or that kind of stuff. Rage Against the Machine, they can do that. Members of our band were all atheists, so we don't support any religious beliefs, any political views. That's out of the question completely. We're just trying to play music, and because of this Christian world, it's very easy to use those kind of symbols, 666 and 777. In those three numbers, you can, everyone gets 1,000 words in their minds, and everybody knows that 666 is something very dark and gloomy and whatever, and 777 is supposed to be very pure and that kind of stuff, And the whole title of the album, Greatest Love Songs, Volume 666. It's all about love, the kind of way I see love to be perfect. Love cannot be just sunshine and birds singing and smiling and, smiling happy faces or whatever. It has to have that violent and that carnal aspect in it as well, to be perfect, to be love, So that was the original point, and that was the, way I intended the 666 to be. But obviously people are too narrow-minded to realize that. So the next song is called Your Sweet 666, and it definitely has nothing to do with Satan.
Between us seems to grow. sweet. It's fading slowly, and I know that it's too late. And oh my God, it's so lonely. Oh my God, it's so lonely. Waiting for your call. Tell me everything I do. Looking for your touch. I welcome your sweet, 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 sweet smile. I'm ready for my fall. Time for you to take your six. Longing for your touch, and I welcome your sweet, 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 my heart. Right here in my heart. Straight in my heart. Right here in my heart, yeah. Thank you.
You're not living healthy, are you?
No, that's not our way. Definitely support madness, at least. Oh, sorry.
When I saw you at the picture or poster, you
Yeah.
did this drawing with, symbols like
The whole-
666, yeah.
Yeah, but that's for fun. Yeah, for me, 666 represents rock and roll, nothing more. It's not a religious thing, for me at least. It's just for fun. Like in the 80s, bands like Iron Maiden, Dio, and those funny guys did that stuff. And it's kind of our tribute to the 80s in a way. We are not evil people at all. We are funny and nice people. Yes. Trying to be entertainers, not Satanists.
No, because some people.
Yeah, I know, but you have to provoke people, and I still think that to make them laugh, yeah, whatever. I still think that rock and roll should be a bit provocative, not too easygoing or not too mellow. That's pop music, We don't want to be the Beatles. We want to be the Rolling Stones.
What songs from these records best describe the whole band?
The whole band. I think all of them. I think all of them, all of them,
All of them?
They have it's a combination. It's because there are loads of different songs within the whole album, and it's kind of like a theme album anyway. So you have to listen to it from the beginning until the end, and then you can figure out what kind of sides we have to the family. I like visuals in general. I like colors and pictures and photography and movies and paintings and whatever, I'm not a really art freak or whatever, but I tend to like things that look nice. Mm-hmm. So, mood-wise, yeah, it might be.
Can you say that pink is the color that best describes the atmosphere of this record?
I'd say it would be deep purple, the color, a bit more. But we wanted it to have that pink because it's a bit more extravagant. And usually bands that play this sort of mood music that we do, they usually use really dark colors. But we wanted to step out of the normality, of that kind of scene, and wanted to kind of like lift up our middle fingers towards the strict fundamentalist gothic or whatever scene, people who are just a bit too serious. All the new kind of shit that's going around us, so the new things you're learning about the music industry and the business and the musical side, it actually creates, of course, it creates loads of tension, but that's good in a way. But when you're under pressure, you have to really think about why you started the whole thing in the first place. So it's kind of like always speculating and remembering that we started it, you know, me and him sitting in a car and listening to Black Sabbath albums and wanted to play like them, you know. So it's simple things where it started from, and that's basically, anyway, the main point still.
There's loads of bullshit in the music business, definitely. So it's
like 99% probably.
yeah. That's
Wicked Game is a great song. It is. And the original by Chris Isaac. And the thing is that you would not consider this as a first choice for like a cover version when it comes to gothic, metal, whatever.
You have to have that contrast, you know.
Right.
What is the point for us to make a Wasp cover? It would be boring.
Would be boring, yeah, I agree. And was it like
too obvious?
Too obvious.
Because the mood of the song and the lyrics and the whole thing, it has such, you know, it has such similarities with our music. So it was a very natural choice to have that one. And I've been loving the song since Wild at Heart, the movie by David Lynch. I just brought the tape to the rehearsal place, and the other guys were like, what the? This is, you know, they were totally almost, you know, on the verge of vomiting, you know. We cannot do this kind of cheesy, you know, cheesy shit ballad or whatever. But I just, you know, convinced them that it is the right choice, and it was.
Yeah, we've been playing it since like the beginning of the band. We recorded a couple of versions earlier on, and so for us it's kind of like really old song. One of the first songs we ever played, because when we started we didn't have you know, enough own songs to play a live set. And we wanted to play live and see how the band works, and we had to play some cover songs, and that was one of them. And then it kind of like just got stuck with us, and we've been playing it ever since, you know. It's like our Paranoid, we have to do it every night. But thank you, Chris Isaac. You know.
Save me but you. Strange what desire make foolish people do. real loves no one. Oh, it's so sad, isn't it?
Thank you, sweethearts.
Our lyrics are like my personal diary. And it's loads of symbolical things going on, so it's not that kind of simple. If I would take literally our own words, I'd be dead. So it's definitely not what we're after.
Torn the despair in your eyes. I worship your lips, once red as wine, and I crave for your scent, sending shivers down my spine.
Be nice to know, that for example, a couple gonna get married someday and have kids and blah blah blah. They've met when one of our songs being playing on disco or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's really important. Usually everybody remembers things like that. What was the song playing when they first had their first kiss, and when they had their first shag, and when they had their first, whatever beer. So that's really important. Just to be able to be part of our people's lives, and hopefully someday we will be. At least in our case, it's like we put all the miserable thoughts and shit on the record, and then we don't have to suffer from it, in our everyday lives. We're quite happy at times, aren't we? Cheerful fellows.
Jokes away.
Jokes away. Tally ho. Yeah, definitely.
I grew up with horror movies. I grew up with Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast. I grew up with Ozzy Osbourne's The Ultimate Sin. So there's in harder rock, a bit darker rock, there's always been the satanic, element in there. It doesn't mean that we sort of sacrifice babies in the forest every night or whatever, if you know what I mean. But for me, it's just I love religious, symbolism, and I'm a true pagan. I haven't been baptized or anything like that. And Finland is not a really religious country, so we sort of check out the religion from we can see the forest from the tree, so to speak. It's a cool symbol. It's a symbol I drew when I was 20, and I always thought that good bands should have some strong symbols, like the Coca-Cola logo, or whatever, that you can instantly recognize, and that's what we wanted to have. And I drew it for some reason, moments of insanity.
We have here all those T-shirts, and there's this special symbol on it. What does it mean?
Well, nothing actually. I just had a terrible hangover. It was today that was my 20th birthday, and I just kind of invented it. It's just a mixture of a heart and a pentagram, so our version of yin and yang, black and white and good and evil.
Okay, so you designed that?
Yep.
Okay. We met in Berlin where you signed all those, and we were talking about your tattoo. So, is it okay now? Because you said it hurts and...
What hurts?
The tattoo on your stomach.
It hurt a lot when we did it, but it's okay now. It's been a while since it was done. So.
Is it that form or sign? Or
yeah, almost like that. Yeah. There's those pairs of ornaments around it, not like that, but almost quite close.
Are we going to see it tonight? Well,
I don't know.
Normally I don't take my pants off while I'm on stage, but let's see. It depends on the pants I'm wearing. I don't know what they're going to be. So let's see.
When we were talking to your friends, they were like, does he have a girlfriend or not? And I said, well, I don't know. I'm going to ask him so.
Your friends? Unfortunately, at the moment, no. It'd be lovely, but I just don't have the time for it.
Really? It's a question of time.
Well, I'm not home, so how could I keep up a relationship? For me, I'm like more than half a year away from Finland. It can be a bit hard.
When you love someone, some people have this like butterflies in the stomach or like trembling all the time.
I have the butterflies before a gig. Some kind of love as well.
I did it all just for her. I did it all just for her. And love wants to sound. You sweet my. Hey! Of love, while its serpents inside crawl straight towards her heart. And the goldenest kiss, love ceased to exist while we grew apart like never before. Reached her heart, and the coldest bliss, fate ceased to exist as we grew apart like never before.
Now, on Razorblade, Romance, there's lyrics a lot dealing with love.
How surprising.
How surprising, yeah. But I don't know, I thought in a different way, more concrete. Is it a coincidence? It's not so speaking in general about love.
Well, I really haven't had time to speculate because I've heard the album only once at my home, and I think, yeah, maybe. And of course, it affects that I'm a bit older, a bit more experienced with matters of love, and not really fantasizing about it like I used to do in my pre-teen years when the funniness started, when I wrote most of the songs for the first album. So it's a bit more concrete, a bit more realistic this time.
So does it mean that you have a certain person in mind when speaking about her? Or
well, it depends. It's not necessarily, it's much more real this time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I had one muse for the album. I might have, but I really don't know.
It could be about me,
Yeah, that's true as well.
Sounds like a close male bond.
Yeah.
We share the hotel rooms,
Yeah, he just told
touring, so
we've had new experiences about love, I can tell you that.
Getting more pervert first.
I mean, we can leave the speculations about the private life of you guys to certain magazines.
Yeah.
But they're speculating. I mean,
let them speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like speculating.
Yeah, me too. At times.
Let us speculate.
Let us speculate. Yes. Start the speculating.
So, what
What could we give the people to speculate?
Well, I think we just gave something to speculate about the news of the album.
About the news of the album, the male bondage. All the cigarette smoking is just substitute for cock sucking.
Oh, there's more room for speculation.
So on your website you said that, or it was written that you said that Ville was your idol. In which way?
How did I say that? I can't remember all the lies that I told there, but yeah. Well, of course he's my idol since I'm spending my youth playing with him. You have to sort of respect the people that you work with. So, idol is a strong word. But yeah, I suppose he is my idol in some strange fashion.
Yeah, he is my idol too, but in a really, really strange
Maybe
fashion.
even stranger fashion.
Probably even stranger fashion.
I was wondering if your partners are maybe sometimes jealous because of your tight friendship. It seems as if you have a very tight friendship. Just by jealousy?
Yes, you can't even imagine how tight it is.
It's getting tighter.
Day by day.
Day by day it's getting stranger.
I'm like a backing singer. So Oh, I'm the one who should do the homo tours. Yes. Okay. I wish I could say hello to Iggy Pop. Obviously, this is not the right moment.
Well,
it's hard to say.
And you're always going to have fights within the band and stuff like that. It's a family, and you have your friends within there. You'll get friends with somebody for a couple of months, and then you start hating him. So it's always like that, you know. It's because we have the small containers there. Like all the people, all the crew and everybody is in there. It's rather small, and when you do it for months and months, it's kind of strange.
Yeah. You do lots of interviews, and it seemed to me as if in every interview you tell something different, or at least a little bit different. So do you play a bit with the media?
No, we just have really bad memory.
No, we just forget and we have to make up something. So basically,
it's a thing that for the journalists, it's a lot nicer that the band doesn't just tell exactly the same stories. A couple of artists do that, and that's completely boring. You can read the same things in every paper. It's a lot nicer to tell stories.
This media stuff, is this getting on your nerves already, or do you still have fun by just making up stories and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, most of the time. Yeah, I mean it's the hardest part is to look at the schedules, but when you actually get there, it's not so bad, and you can start lying and having a good time basically. But it looks worse than it actually is.
And can you still distinguish between the private persons and the persons you are on stage and in the media, however?
Well, the same all the time. That's the only way to do it, I'm not an actor. He actually is a quite good actor. All of his family is really famous in Finland for acting. His mother's a really famous actress.
Yes, my grandpa is a famous actress.
Director. Did really, really cool black and white films in the 50s and stuff like that. So he's kind of like from the art acting thing. So I'm not sure all the time whether he's acting or not. But I can't act at all, so
I'm not sure all the time.
That's the real me all the time.
We're going to do a number from my first album. This was called Our Diabolical Rapture. Hopefully you're digging it. Woo! It's a dance track. So get your hips moving. So we open the door. as we die of letter. So won't you close your eyes, baby, one last time. And baby, I talk to you. So we open the door, and I talk the boy. 'Cause we're in love with you, and you die on it, Lord. Yeah. I just want you to know I'll always be waiting. Hey! Your love is the only thing I look for in this world.
As far as health goes, people speculate.
Yeah. Yes.
What's the condition in the band? Does it get to you, like touring, drinking wine, smoking cigarettes, drinking energy drinks, eat nothing?
I tend to eat, and nowadays I don't drink that much, you know. I did it when we first started touring, a bit too much, and really gets to you. Because the most important part, anyway, of the whole thing is to keep the voice in shape, because the gigs are the most important. You know. I'd kill myself if I just ruin my voice with cigarettes or whatever. You know.
Any doctor's warnings yet?
No, not yet, really. I lost my voice actually a couple of weeks ago. That was the first time in 10 years. And I went to a doctor for the first time in my career, but she just said that you should rest. And there was nothing really wrong with my vocal cords. So feels good.
Feels good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Few cigarettes to go. So you will be busy during the next weeks. You just told me what the next days will be like. So that's a really tight schedule.
Yeah.
German tour starts in March.
Yeah, on the 22nd is the first gig. It starts from Dortmund.
And new video is out pretty soon.
Yeah, on the 14th, probably on the Valentine's Day.
For which song?
Right Here in My Arms. The first rocking one. Our tribute to the 80s. Billy Idol and Bon Jovi and stuff like that.
Praise the Lord, here we go. I am so in love. Yeah, my darling. She's smiling like a boost out on earth. The sun is shining so bright in us. And all her wishes have finally come true. Her heart is weeping. This happiness is killing her. Yeah, it's good to see her well. She'll be right here in my arms, so in love. She'll be right here in these arms, she can't let go. She'll be right here in my arms, so in love, baby, love. She'll be right here in these arms, she can't let go. Out now. So hard she's trying, but her heart won't stand still. Oh no. And she keeps on crying, but I won't leave her alone. And she'll never be alone. She'll be right here in my arms, so in love. She'll be right here in these arms, she can't let go. She'll be right here in my arms, so in love, baby, love. She'll be right here in these another words. She'll be right in my arms, telling love. She'll be right in my arms, telling love. She'll be right in these arms, telling love. She'll be right in my arms, telling love. She'll be right in these arms, she can't let go. Oh no! She got a TV, I don't need her. She got a TV. Oh,
when we were kids, like 13 or well, whatever, we had the idea of forming the band. We loved Black Sabbath so much, they took their name out of a horror movie. So we did the same, and originally HIM stands for His Infernal Majesty.
And then later on, it became a bit ridiculous to be called His Infernal Majesty. So, and anyway, we couldn't pronounce it. His Infernal Majesty.
We're doing quite well as being His Infernal Majesty. It was easy for people. Anyway, people were calling us him because it was hard to pronounce it and hard to remember. So everybody was calling him. Then we got certain kind of club stages there, so we didn't want to change the name completely because we have been playing some gigs around. So we just shortened it.
Made the first EP was still under name His Infernal Majesty.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So we wanted to maintain our fan base, which was like 200 people, maybe.
I'd say 20.
Yeah, 20 were fans, but whatever.
And that's a really spooky name. And all of a sudden, there were loads of problems with black metal bands, like in Scandinavia, burning churches and killing them, each other and stuff like that. And we didn't want to participate. We're not in that genre. We didn't want to kill anybody or burn any churches, So we just shortened it up, and it's pretty macho, isn't it? I like it, It's got a bit of like Manowar sort of vibe to AC/DC and all that, It's good, and it's easy to pronounce in every language, so that's good as well. We're not your typical Finnish band, but because, we grew up with bands like Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Kiss, stuff like that. Like Kiss, my first love when it comes to music. But then again, I've always appreciated a lot like folky singer-songwriters like Neil Young, Neil Diamond, Cat Stevens, people like that. And then again, the old Finnish folk music. So when it all comes together, hopefully we're trying to sort of like create a cocktail of all the influences, rather than sort of like trying to restrict ourselves artistically. So the difference, let's say we didn't start playing music because we wanted like girlfriends with like big silicone boobies and fast cars and beautiful penthouses and lots of money. We started because we loved music and we wanted to be a part of what our idols did.
If people don't like it, then they can piss off, We can't do, we're not whores. We're not kind of selling ourselves in that way that we want to, please everybody by what we're doing. Anyway, that's impossible, so it's kind of just funny and entertaining when people don't like it. I like the things what we're doing.
We are pretty much fortunate to make a living out of it, so usually it doesn't end up like we have ended up, in a nice way. You can end up doing working hard and, drinking a lot and whatever.
I was about 13, I fell in love for the first time, but that girl fell in love with my best friend. It broke my heart totally, so that's when I wrote my first song. So for me, it's always been like emotionally really cathartic, just to clean up my system, my emotional system. So that's the reason why I do, and it's a lot more cheaper than going into psychotherapy, you even get paid for it. There's a song called Join Me in Death, and that's exactly about the Romeo and Juliet sort of thing. It's about being in love that's so excruciating, that's so strong that you're sort of like thinking, are you willing enough to give everything away because of that love? Which means that, are you willing to join that particular person even in death? So that's very close to Romeo and Juliet, and it's just we had loads of problems in Europe because of that song, because people thought that we're sort of like asking people to kill themselves or whatever. But you know, I think that if Romeo and Juliet would come out now, you know, I think they would be banned from most of the places. So I'm not claiming to be the new Shakespeare, but there's good ideas behind what he's done, and they're eternal ideas. So they still work, and they still, you know, it's just pondering about how much you're willing to give to that person you really love.
We are so young, our lives have just begun, but already we are considering escape from this world, and we've waited for so long for this moment to come. We're so anxious to be together in death. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Baby, join me in death. Baby, join me in death. Baby, join me in death. We are so young, our lives have just begun, but already we are considering escape from your world, and we're waiting for so long for this moment to come. We're so anxious to be together in death. Whoa, we got baby, join me in death. What you done? Baby, join me in death. What you done tonight for love? Baby, join me in death. This world is a cruel place, and we're here only to lose. So before life tears us apart, let death leaves me with you. When you die, baby, join me in death. When you die, baby, join me in death. When you die, baby, join me in death. Join me in death. This life ain't worth living. This life, it ain't worth living. Join me. This life, it ain't worth living. Join me, will you join me? Woo! So when you die, baby, join me in death. Won't you die? Baby, join me in death. Would you die tonight for love? And join me in death. Baby, join me in death. Oh, thanks.
Do you write things? Did they naturally to you? Do you just sit down and work and work and work?
I just buy classic albums from Rolling Stones and play them backwards and steal from there.
So you hear the devil's voice?
Until I do that, yeah. But it's always a bit different. At times it's work and at times it's not. You know, it's usually you get the ideas and then you just sometimes it might be like, for example, with the song "Join Me." I wrote it in '97 or whatever, and it took about 2 years to arrange it. So it's always a totally different kind of process. A bit of time. But now it's been going on really easy with the new tracks. You know, hopefully it means that we're getting better, rather than that we're just getting lazy not to really have the power to work with the songs anymore.
No.
We shall see. It's sounding good anyway.
Have you got a name for the album?
Oh yeah, sure, but I'm not going to tell it. Yeah, of course it's going to come out. You know, hopefully next year, hopefully next spring is what we're aiming at, and well, we don't want anybody to steal the album title. It's going to be quite funny. Because it's not recorded yet, you never know. You have to leave some space for improvisation in the studio, a little at least. So it's going to be different, but hopefully it's going to be a bit more adult. Of course, we're growing up and you know, getting older, wiser, hopefully, and that's going to affect the lyrics and the songs in general. You know.
Not going to get boring. Wear slippers and things.
It's people's decision to really decide on that matter. Not to us. Anyway.
We're still breathing. This can be love. Baby, we're trying. Shed a few tears more. We keep on running just to get caught. We know all this is.